So we have Kentucky history going on, okay? The second installment. I didn't come up with a whole bunch of questions, but I do have two, which you should know from the last one. What was the first state with the first interracial college in the South? And what was the first state in the South to pass the Civil Rights Act? So those are the two questions. Currently, I am in Muldraugh, Kentucky. I'm in right next to Fort Knox. If you're in Louisville, you get on the expressway, the Waterson, the Shawnee, the Gloria Powers Expressway, and you go southbound. You go eventually Dixie Highway. If you take Dixie Highway, you'll go through Muldraugh, and you'll go to Radcliffe. And so Muldraugh. Okay, so Muldraugh is in Meade County. It's also part of it's in Hardin County. And Fort Knox. Knox is Henry Knox. He was named after the first war general. There's like a scab or something. Okay, so there's like a war general. Henry Knox. Hardin County was named after some Hardin guy named Colonel John Hardin. So John had a hard-on. John's Hardin. He gets hardened by Fort Knox's gold. John Hardin. He was a Continental Army soldier, fought in the Revolution. So he's a revolutionary, right? He's a great hero. That's what a lot of people say. Fucking John Hardin is not a hero. He's a bitch. He was an Indian murderer. So, I don't know, there's two courthouse fires in 1864 and 1932 in Hardin County, and I just wonder if it was a curse from the Indians that John Hardin had killed. That's why the courthouse in Hardin County just keeps on burning down. 1864, so in the Civil War, and in 1932, you know, there's a Great Depression there. It's like, fuck it. In the 1940s, the population doubled in Hardin County from 29,000 to 50,000. I'm just kind of randomly just stating facts. The focus on is history. Is where did we all come from? How did we get to where we are right now? And so I'm in Muldraugh, Kentucky. I was born and raised in Kentucky. I was born in Covington. I was spent 1 year in Camp Ernest Road in Boone County before being transported against my will into Gallatin County. And Gallatin County is where I spent my childhood, my youth, right? So now I was in Louisville. Didn't suit well with me, so I'm like, fuck Louisville. And so now I'm in Muldraugh. And that's how you say Muldraugh, even though it's Muldraugh. It looks like Muldraugh. I guess those would be good questions. What are the origins of Hardin County? What are the origins of Meade County? What are the origins of Fort Knox, Louisville, and Muldraugh? So those are the 5 questions. So basically that's where I'm at right now. Hardin County, it comes after the Colonel John Hardin. He was known as an Indian killer. He was killed in 1792, which incidentally is when Kentucky was admitted into the United States. He also fought in the Northwestern American War. But that's when he died. He died in the Northwestern American War. Right. The population, the demographics, 81% is white in Hardin County, 12% black, which is remarkable. They're survivors, right? There's 2% Asian, 5% mixed, and 5% Latinos. Hardin County is a moist county. The county is dry except for E-Town, Radcliffe, and Vine Grove. Those cities are wet. That's why it's called moist, because the county is dry, but some of the cities, such as Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, and Vine Grove, are wet. The capital of Hardin County is Elizabethtown. There's 3 high schools. 1 high school in Elizabethtown, 3 of them in Hardin County. There's a high school at Fort Knox. There's 4 military dependents. It's not 4, but it's 4 military dependents. It's $16 million school. So actually Fort Knox is a badass high school. They put $16 million into it. Elizabethtown's got a community and technical college. Colonel John Hardin, he's an Indian killer. He was born in Prince William County, died Turtle Creek, May 1792. John J. Hardin was a Methodist. He was wounded fighting in Lord Dunmar's War. So Lord Dunmar's War is the first in the beginning of the American Revolution, Yellow Creek Massacre. He was participating. Lord Dunmar's War is against the Shawnee. Kentucky is the homeland to the Shawnee. Tecumseh was Shawnee, and possibly was born in Kentucky. So the John J. Hardin was killed in an ambush in 1792, possibly the Shawnee people. He was under orders of George Washington. George Washington wanted to get some sort of peace going on. He was killed in the ambush, possibly by the Shawnee people, which would make sense since he was killing Shawnee people in Lord Dunmar's War. And I think he also gets some Shawnee scalps, yeah, in August 1789. Colonel John J. Hardin went to Tarry Halte, Indiana, and he attacked the Shawnee villages up there, and he came back to Kentucky with 12 Shawnee scalps. So that's John J. Hardin. Yeah, great fucking guy, right? He's just murdering fucking Shawnees. Peaceful Shawnees living in Indiana, and Indiana is literally means the land of Indians. Indiana, the land of Indians. And where are they at? They're fucking gone because of shitheads like Colonel fucking John J. Hardin. So John J. Hardin, 1774, under Captain Zach Moran, fought Lord Dunmar's War. John J. Hardin was shot in the dick and balls. I guess in the groin. He was shot in the dick and balls with a musket ball, and the musket ball stayed in his balls the whole time. So maybe that's why he was so fucking pissed off at the fucking Indians, because they took away his fucking manhood. So John J. Hardin has no dick. You know, you're named after a fucking dickless, ballless, fucking uncourageous, unmanly, fucking, you know, not even a female. Like, there's nothing there. So I mean, what does he do? He's just a fucking Barbie doll, you know. He's nobody can love that something like a John J. Hardin. The Revolutionary War with Morgan's rifles from Pennsylvania. So he fought in the Revolutionary War, but really it was all about killing Indians, right? Yeah, the freedom thing against Britain, but really it's all about who wants to take Kentucky land. And guess what? He lived on a large piece of land in Kentucky, Washington County, Kentucky, in 1786. So he had a nice big fucking chunk of land. So he gets a chunk of, he fights in the Revolution, gets some fucking Indian land. And then in 1786, they say that he led a successful attack on the Piankishaw Indians, the Piankishaw, on the Wabash River near Vincennes, Indiana. And so Vincennes, Indiana, the successful attack was against the Piankishaw. And the Piankishaw are actually the allies to the American Revolutionaries. So John J. Hardin is actually attacking their own fucking allies. He doesn't care if you kill, you know, any Indian's a dead Indian. That's what the fuck John J. Hardin, the namesake of Hardin County, Kentucky, that's what he fucking thinks. So it's what he fucking believes. He attacks his own, you know, there are fucking the Piankishaws, Miami Indians. They're now an extinct tribe, so he killed these fucking Indians, and now they're all fucking gone. John J. Hardin extincted an entire nation of fucking people. This is a hero? That's all the fucking things I see on, like, you know, local shit. And hero, John J. Hardin, Indian killer, yeah, great fucking hero, let me tell you. Wiped out the nation of the Piankishaw people. They spoke Algonquin language. Algonquin is not spoken by anybody anymore, right? It's all fucking English, right? We're all a bunch of Americans, but we don't speak the native language here. We don't speak the Algonquin language. We're fucking carrying on some Anglo-Saxon fucking made up fucking bullshit, you know? So yeah, he got 12 scalps August 1789. He wipes out the Piankishaw. 1786. 1774, he's killed in Shawnee in Lord Dunmore's War, Battle of Point Pleasant. He dies in April 1792. He's only 49 years old. So Colonel John J. Hardin, or J.J. Hardin, his last stand was April 1792. And the Shawnee probably killed him, right? Because the fucking scalps. Revenge for the Terre Haute fucking massacre. Terre Haute. Terrehaute. Terre Haute, Indiana. The massacre of Indiana, right? Of the Shawnee people. George Washington ordered a peace treaty. He wanted John J. Hardin to offer a peace treaty. Supposedly, I don't know. George Washington likes to go into villages and say, "You want peace or war?" And they're supposed to pick one or the other. So that could have been a so-called peace treaty. They meet in Shelby County, Ohio. This is where John J. Hardin meets the Indians. They're going to escort him, but he's killed in his sleep. They also killed his servant, which is ironically named Freeman. So more good fucking news. And not only is John J. Hardin a goddamn fucking Indian murderer, right, a savage fucking bastard, he probably killed motherfuckers in their sleep, but he also owns a slave, right? He owns one slave, so it's just him and the other dude, and he's like, "Hey, I own you." And I guess he'll have to fucking beat him into submission if he doesn't understand that he's fucking owned. Free man. His servant is free man. Just like Lewis and Clark, York fucking skipped out of, York took the fuck off. His servant, free man, was killed. John J. Hardin was killed. He's a slave owner. He's a fucking Indian killer. And then there was also with a guide named John Flynn. And John Flynn, he joins the Shawnee and actually, became revolutionary. So, fucking John J. Hardin's not a freedom fighter. He's not a revolutionary. He's not nearly as revolutionary as John Flynn. He's not revolutionary as the Piankeshaw or the Shawnee or the Cherokee or the Yuchi, the Creek. He's really just a real fucking bastard. Just a fucking shitty fucking bastard. Just fucking. And before, so 1792 is when Kentucky became a state. But before then, he's actually fighting in like these Hamar's defeat and shit. So he's this fucking guy is with Washington, George Washington. George Washington ordered this motherfucker to go die, right? He's like, "Hey, go sign a peace treaty in fucking Ohio," and then he fucking dies. So he's like, George Washington's like #1 or #2 bitch, right? He's just like fucking can't wait to do Hamar's campaign, one of the losing campaigns he fights in. Indians who killed Meade. Oh, this is Meade, the town of Hardin. I don't know. I'm getting some of this mixed up. So the most of what I just told you is Colonel John J. Hardin. I'm gonna go through all of this more systematically because there's actually a ton of fucking information. Meade County is named after Captain James Meade, and he's also an Indian killer, killed by Indians in the Battle of War of 1812. And so if you think of Tecumseh, the War of 1812 is Tecumseh's war, it's Tecumseh's last stand. He gets killed in 1813. But why is Tecumseh fighting? Like the War of 1812 is the British and the Americans. The British burned down the White House in Washington, D.C. So that's the War of 1812. The British, they do that, and then then it's like a battle over Canada. They're trying to fight over who will take Canada, and then it turns into a fight against Tecumseh and the fucking Shawnee, the everlasting. He wanted to have one great big Indian confederation in order to give the fucking final death call or the death fucking fight to the death of the white man for their land back. So that's Meade County is named after an Indian killer. Hardin County is named after an Indian killer. Fort Knox is named after Henry Knox, who's the Secretary of War under George Washington. So that's the Hamar's campaign, so Indian killer. And then Muldraugh. Muldraugh is actually, it's Muldraugh. So back, there was a big hill that you come in right before you come in to the city. There, you had to get a mule in order to go over it. You had to draw the mules over. And so that's why it's called Muldraugh. So actually Muldraugh or Muldraugh, because you got to fuck up language. That's the same thing we do with Louisville. It's Lawville. Lawville. It's not Louisville. It's not Louisville or Louisville, because that is so elegant. It's Lawville. but it's King Louis the 16th, right? So Louisville, and Muldraugh, it looks like Muldraugh. So Muldraugh, I think, would be what people would look on the map. Oh yeah, we're going to go to Muldraugh, but around here it's Muldraugh. So here in Muldraugh, it's actually got the nicest name, the nice etymology, the nicest origin of names. But it's surrounded by a shit ton of Indian killers and some slave owners.